Welcome to Saving for Our Farm. My name is Madeline. In this video, I wanted to do an introductory to our channel, and I want to go over our why, our vision, and also want to show you our binders and the priority of our binders and how I plan to save for our farm. We do plan on having a small 3-acre farm, or even possibly less, which I'm really okay with because I don't feel like for my age I need to have anything larger than that. So let's go into our why. Our why is because long before the financial climate that we're currently in, I've always wanted to live on a farm. My husband, his work, we had to travel to a lot of different places, and so farming wasn't really something that I was able to do. So now that he's getting ready to retire in about 2 years, I want to save, want to kind of get ahead and save for the different livestock that we plan on having, and also to save for the material for the different structures that we plan on building on the farm. And I wanted to see if I could do it on a low income, and that's another why that I wanted to do this, was to kind of show people that it is possible to do it. Not everything, because I'm not saying that you have to do it this way or you could do it on a low income, because there are farming is very expensive. It's not what people think. You know, you just have a house and you get some animals and you feed them, or you have a garden. It is labor intensive, and it can be very expensive. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this channel, was to show people that how I plan on doing it. I'm not saying this is how anybody can do it. It's in my position how I'm planning on doing it. And also want to introduce the different types of livestock that we plan on raising on the farm. And on this channel, I'm going to go from saving to actually building or purchasing the livestock. So building the structure, purchasing the livestock, growing the livestock, and then dispatching it, and then putting it on my table for me and my family to have. And that also includes any gardening that I plan on doing, which I suffer from an autoimmune disease, so I am limited as to what types of food I can actually eat. So growing my own food is kind of taken to the next level. And we'll be living, when my husband retires, we currently live in Germany. This will be his last overseas job. And so in the state that we plan on retiring in is Texas. And so we will be doing the seasonal fruits and vegetables that we grow in Texas. And I'll be also showing the different the planting season and the harvesting, and possibly some canning. I've never really canned. I've only canned maybe a small handful of things, so I'm not an expert at canning. But again, this is all a learning curve for me. I've only really had chickens before. I've never had any other livestock besides chickens. I do like raising chickens. They're a fairly easy livestock to have for beginner farmers. And so I really do enjoy raising the chickens. I've never raised pigs before. I've seen it done. I know people personally who have done it, and I've helped them do it, but I have never personally raised pigs before. Those are really the only two types of livestock we plan on having on our farm. My husband would like to have a donkey. I'm not 100% sure we are going to do that. They are a very good livestock protector donkeys are. And I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. He also wants to have cows. I'm not also sure about that. That is beyond my scope of experience having those types of livestock on the farm, but we'll see what happens. But right now, for sure, I know chickens and pigs is what we're going to be having. And yeah, so let me go over our binders with you. And our first binder I'm going to go over with you is, I hate to really call it the pet binder because they're not really pets, but it's the binder that I'm saving for our dogs. We currently don't have any pets. The last pet we did have was our very favorite dog, Sassy. She was about 18 years old when she passed away. We picked her up when we lived in Japan, and I haven't been able to find an animal that measures up to her, and I'm not real sure I'm going to ever find one. But yeah, there she is, Sassy. She was a very sweet, very smart dog, and we actually picked her up at one of the shelters in Okinawa, Japan. So that's where I do plan on picking up my my next dogs. I'd like to have more than one, but if we have to just start out at one, that would be fine too. Our dogs are just going to pick them up from the shelter. Sorry, I completely forgot what I was going to say. So for dogs, and then for the food, we also do want to have some cats as well. I'm not saving for those because everybody's always giving a cat away, and I'm not planning on having an indoor cat. Our cats will be for the farm, as a farm animal. But I definitely will showcase those on the channel. So the pet food, of course, you'll need to have something for the vet, and pet care, and that consists of any bedding, leads, a bowl, yeah, the different things that you would need to bring your pet home, a kennel, things like that. So pet care. And then in each binder, I'll go over in this binder what each binder is going to have, and then that way I'm not having to stop. Yeah, I don't want to bore everybody. So each binder has a budget sheet, and this is how I plan on staying, on top of how much the money, how it. This is so I don't get confused, to be quite honest, so that I know this amount of money, my balance is the balance of what I put in each of the envelopes. So it'll have the deposit that I put in there that month, and then the balance. And then in each envelope, they have their own tracker, and so that I know that this envelope has this much, and if I were to add all of the envelopes up, it's going to show what the balance is, so that I can keep track. Yeah. I don't want to be confused and wonder where did that money go? What did I do with it? So I'll have a better idea. It'll help me keep track of it a lot better. And I do want to say real quick that I made these dashboards and my tracker. I made them because Etsy has, for whatever reason, I can't use Etsy anymore, and they're really hard to try and contact to find out why I'm not able to use my Etsy, buy from Etsy anymore. So I did make this little tracker, and I have made some mistakes here, and I'm okay with it. I know what it's for, and I mean it yeah. So I made this tracker. Each binder will have a tracker, and the start date that I started the tracker will also be here. So, and then I also made my own placeholders for the money, again, because I can't get into any I can't get into Etsy to buy any of the things. So anyway, I don't mind making my own. I know they aren't as pretty as everybody else's, but we are trying to save. So that's one way that I can continue to save, is to just make my own. And I don't have a Cricut. I had initially thought about buying a Cricut, but that was really not something I wanted to spend my money on, and so I just decided that I do have a laminator, and so I thought, well, I'll just use what I have here at the house. So here is my garden binder, and this binder, this particular envelope is for my seeds, any plants that I will be buying, any garden bed material, any grow bags, because I want to use both grow bags and garden material. Garden beds and grow bags. So because I've never actually used garden grow bags before, and I thought that would be kind of neat to try and do that and try and use those. So this is for that envelope. The greenhouse is self-explanatory. This is also money for the greenhouse plans and the materials for the greenhouse. So I don't really have any plans as far as like a layout for the greenhouse just yet. I'm working on that. I'm not sure what I want it to look like, but you guys will be, if you come along with me, you'll see what I wind up doing and how much I wind up spending. This envelope is for the compost bin that I would like to make. Soil, I'll probably need some soil initially to put in the compost bin, and I want to be really particular about the soil, where I get my soil for the compost bin to get it started, and of course any tools that I may need along the way. So that's this, and then this is my my budget sheet for this binder, and then this is the money challenge that I have for the garden binder, and I got this from My Money Matters before Etsy decided they didn't like me, and they shut my Etsy account down. But anyway, I got this from My Money Matters from Esther, and I was really happy to be able to do that. I got kind of like a little souvenir from her. Well, that's kind of what it is to me. It's a souvenir. I do plan on using it, but yeah, anyway. And so this is my savings. It's not for the garden, it's just savings in general. I just happen to put it in this binder, but this is the savings that I have, and savings and emergency, they will always get money every single cash stuffing that I do. So they will if nothing else gets filled, the savings and the emergency will get stuffed. All right, so I will try not to talk too much on this particular binder, because this is the chicken binder. And again, like I said, I really love chickens, and they are one of my favorite animals. But this is for a mobile chicken coop. I will be talking a lot about So the Land is a YouTube channel that I watch, and Jason on So the Land, he has built this mobile chicken coop, and the reason for the mobility is because I want to be able to pasture raise my chickens, and I really like the way this looks. I would really like to kind of mimic his farm, only in my version of what he does on his farm. I'm not going to be able to do every single thing, and nor would I need to do every single thing that he does on his farm. I think farming is a little bit like cash stuffing. Everybody does it to fit them, And so, but I do like a lot of the things that Sow the Land does, and they're things that I would really like to implement on our farm. These will be initially I'm going to start off with egg layers, and these are the particular type of egg layers that I would like to get. And so, yeah, so here is my egg layers. This is for the feed and accessories. I do plan on actually making my own feed. Initially, I might have to go ahead and buy feed, but I would like to make my own feed, and I'd like to, I plan on doing a video on how to make your own feed. It may not always be inexpensive to make your own feed, but I think it's better for your chickens if you make your own feed, or your egg layers anyway, for sure. And the accessories that we will need for the feed, or for the chickens, and that will be the waters, the feeders, any kind of fencing that we may need, any bedding that they will need, any nesting boxes that they will need. Yeah, so that will be some of the accessories. This will be for the meat birds, and that's pretty self-explanatory. And their chicken tractor plans, and any of the materials that I'll need for their chicken tractor. So they will also be pasture raised. And again, that will be something that I would like to show you how I'm going to build that on this channel. And then here's my envelope for the actual meat birds, the different type of meat birds. And that's this right here is going to be in probably not until next year, to be quite honest with you. I don't have the space where I'm going to be currently living to have to be able to have the meat birds. I do have the space for the egg layers, but I don't have the space for the meat birds. But I do want to save for it, and I think once I'm gonna have once I've reached the dollar amount that I plan on saving for the chickens, then for the meat birds, then I'll just stop and feed it into some of the other things first. So, and then here is my chicken, the budget for the chickens, and then again a really nice money tracker. Savings challenge from Esther at My Money Matters. The emergency envelope, of course, that's self-explanatory. And again, that will be something that will be stuffed, every cash stuffing. Okay, so let's go on to the, let me see how much, okay. I was looking to see how much time, because I don't want this to be a very long video. So let's go on to the pigs, and the pig binder is not going to get stuffed like the pig binder, and the binder that I'm going to have for the different structures on the farm are not going to get stuffed every weekly or bi-weekly like the other 3 binders, because again, like the meat birds, I don't have a place to put pigs at the moment in the house that I'm going to be living in until our house is built. So I'm just saving for this. So this is for the actual pigs. I'm sorry, this is for the structure. And that is also going to be a mobile structure, my pig structure. This is for the actual pigs. And of course, this is for the pig feed. And this is the budget. For these other 2 binders here, again, I'm only going to be stuffing these envelopes after I've finished the savings challenge. So when I finish this savings challenge, then I will be putting the money in here. And I think that's it. It's going to be, I think it'll be better for me to do it that way. And that way I can concentrate all the other money into things that I'm going to need right away. So, yep, so there is the pigs. And then this last binder that I have here is, like I said, the structures that we plan on having. And that's going to be the barn, a smokehouse, and a mobile cooler. And this mobile cooler is for is when you process your chickens or your livestock. In this case, it'll be pigs, but you could also do, you know, a cow. But after you've processed them, you have to hang them for a little while. And having it mobile, in the beginning anyway, would be cost effective. In that way, I'm not going to always use it. And it's kind of like a very cold walk-in refrigerator, only it's mobile and it's not very big. It's just big enough to hang what you need to hang in there. The animal that you've processed. And so it's not something that you have to have. And that's kind of why it's in the very last binder, in the very last envelope, because it's something that I'm going to work toward. And I think it's a genius idea. And again, it's another one of Jason's from Sow the Land's ideas. And yeah, so that's why it's at the very end. And I know people are probably, the reason I'm going into great detail on this is because people are probably wondering, what would you need a mobile cooler for? But that's what you would need a mobile cooler for. After you process your animal, you hang your animal for, it depends on what it is, but you know, anywhere between a day or two to about a week. So anyway, a mobile cooler, and then again, the budget sheet. And it also has a little mini savings challenge that, again, I will only be stuffing this once the challenge is done. So yeah, that's it for the binders. And I hope to in my next video go over do some savings challenges with you. That'll be my very first savings challenge that I'll be doing, my very first video showing my savings challenge. And I hope that you find this content interesting and that you'll follow along to see how we're going to be saving for our 3-acre farm on a low income. And I really appreciate you stopping by, and I really hope to see you in my next video, Saving for a Farm. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.